What's up? Sitting here waiting for some things to happen because I can't make them happen right now. They're just not happening, so gotta kind of wait. Lavino, what the hell's that doing here at Metro Center? So, waiting on things to happen. Decided to go and get some lunch at one of my favorite type of restaurants, the like Mongolian barbecue. If you've never been there, what you do is you make your own. It's basically make your own stir fry. You get vegetables, meats, some sauces, and then they fry it up on this big flat. Basically, it's a skillet that's like 5,000 degrees or something, and they flash fry it. And it's really good. I mean, you put your sauces on there. I like the sweet and sour with a little bit of the garlic. I can actually still taste a little bit of the garlic right now. And you see me chewing, it's because it's still in my mouth. But anyway, I'm sitting there as I'm eating my meal, and it's a nice little hole-in-the-wall restaurant in Metro Center. It's not so bad. I mean, they're not overly busy. I mean, granted, it was like 11 something when I got there, and it wasn't quite lunchtime yet for most people. But anyway, so I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, what is wrong with this place? Like, I couldn't put my finger on it at first. Because, I mean, like, if you ever go to YC's, it's very similar, this particular one, at Metro Center, to YC's. Same menu items, same meats, vegetables, whatever. And then my wife and I like to go to the Genghis one out of Tempe Marketplace, because, they got a better variety of stuff. And it's about the same price, but it's just a better variety. So then as I'm eating, I'm like, how come everywhere I go, like, I feel like I could do a better job of running a restaurant? You know what I mean? Like, the one out in Tempe is making probably about the same amount of money as this place, because they're charging, I think this place actually charges a little more for a large bowl, which really sucks, because now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, I should just drove over to Arrowhead, because they got one of those Genghis grills at Arrowhead. But, like, it's very basic in this one. They had beef, chicken, dark meat chicken, and pork, and then, standard vegetables like carrots, mushrooms, the little baby corns, the little baby corns, kale, broccoli, bean sprouts, and they had noodles, and then sauces. And they didn't even have as many sauces here as they did at Genghis either, because here it was just basically like sweet and sour, some hot Thai, ginger sauce, garlic sauce, a couple others that I'm not interested in, and some seasonings, whatever. Over at Genghis, they got a lot more sauces, a lot more, and they don't put the sauce on until the cook's done, right at the end of the cook at Genghis. Whereas this place, they're putting the sauce, you put the sauce on yourself, and so then, it basically evaporates. So when I got my food, it was like bland. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had no flavor. So I went over and I grabbed a bottle of teriyaki and I threw about half of it on there, and all of a sudden I got a little bit of taste. And then I had to put the little crunchy, the little crunchies. There's a name for them, I'm sure, but wontons maybe. Fried wonton, no, because that's got something in it. Anyway, they're little, they're like little crispies. I don't know what else you call them, the little crispy crunchies. And then I finally had some flavor in it, because this thing was bland as hell. Like, it was like eating paper. It didn't taste like anything. I mean, paper had more flavor, so I had to flavor it up myself. And so then I'm thinking, like, I could do a better job than this. This guy's probably paying $5-6 grand a month to rent out this space. He's probably just barely making enough to, overhead. He's just probably just making enough to make payroll and bills and stay open. He's not making any money. I mean, especially when I get done on Yelp. So that's why I was like, well, if I had 100 grand lying around, I could freaking get started with my own restaurant, and I'd run it right. You know what I mean? I'd do things my way, not just stick with it. I mean, if something ain't working, get rid of it. You know what I mean? Throw fish on there. If somebody wants some fish, throw some crab meat on there. And if you end up throwing more out than you're using, then quit doing it. But this is the same menu. This is the third time I've been to this one, and it's not bad. I don't want to say it's bad. It's just, when I get my food back, it's so bland. I might as well have been eating paper. And I'm not happy about that. So anybody who hears this that wants to start me a GoFundMe, I will open up, if I can get $100,000 to rent out space, to, get inspected, get everything I need. I mean, I don't even know if that $100,000, this is the first number that popped in my head. I have to do more research on it, but anybody that wants to set up a GoFundMe, I would be willing to open up a restaurant in Laveen, because it's going to blow up over there once that freeway's done, and I would do it right. I would. It's so frustrating to me when somebody's got a good setup like this dude has. And don't get it wrong, because like the owner, he's there. I assume he's the owner. He's working the register. He walked around a little bit, asked me how my meal was. I told him it was good. But like, I just don't get it. Like, why would you like spend on and invest all your time and energy and money in opening a restaurant just to not do it right? I mean, you're in business to make money, if I remember right, and yet, if I remember business school, and yet, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'm right, though. So I do not have enough money to open up a restaurant. I'm a teacher. Sorry, can't do it. But I would even be willing to take on partners, investments, something to get this thing started, because it is going to blow up in Laveen when that freeway gets done. Don't you do it. Don't you come over here, you piece of... Yeah, you know who you is. Big truck mother. Anywho, so I would be willing to take on partners. Like, the restaurant business is going to be huge in Laveen, and there's not nowhere to eat, really. I mean, there's Applebee's, and there's some fast food places. Like, there's a Smash Burger. There's a Firehouse now. But, like, and there's a Black Bear Diner, which, by the way, isn't the greatest. I mean, it's good for breakfast, but the rest of the food, not so good. So, like, opening a restaurant, I don't know. Nobody's watching this anyway. 418 subscribers and nobody's watching the live feed. That's hilarious. Wonder what happens when they hit 1,000. So anyway, opening up a restaurant, do it right. I'd do that like Mongolian barbecue, because that would be awesome in Laveen, because there ain't nothing like that down there. Number one. Number two, you gotta do it right, man. You just gotta, because it's atrocious if you're doing it wrong. Why even bother if you're just gonna mess it up? Like, do it right, get it done, make some money, and you're feeding people. There's not much else that could be nobler than having people enjoy like a family restaurant where they can all sit down and eat. I mean, it doesn't all have to be Mongolian stuff too. You can have like a grilled cheese for the kids, or some kids menu. I don't know. My wife's got some good ideas too. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here because I'm almost back from lunch, back to work. So peace out. Start me a GoFundMe. I'll talk to you later.